The theater lights dim slowly, washing the America's Got Talent stage in a soft blue glow. The audience buzzes with quiet anticipation, the kind that comes before something unknown. Cameras sweep across the crowd, catching hopeful faces, nervous smiles, hands clutching phones, ready to record the next viral moment. On the judges' panel, Simon Cowell flips a pen between his fingers, already looking mildly bored. He has seen thousands of auditions, dreamers, imitators, wannabe stars. It takes something truly rare to surprise him now. From backstage, a slim young Filipino singer takes a deep breath. His name is announced, and he steps into the spotlight. There is nothing flashy about him. No dramatic outfit, no exaggerated confidence. He wears a simple jacket, well-worn shoes, and an expression that mixes humility with quiet determination. As he walks to center stage, his eyes scan the massive auditorium. The size of the room alone could swallow a person whole. For a brief moment, his shoulders tense, but then he straightens, grounding himself. This stage is intimidating, yes, but it is also the place he has dreamed of since he was a child, singing into a cracked mirror back home. The audience applauds politely, though without much excitement. People have learned not to get their hopes up too early. "Hello," the host says warmly. "What's your name?" He answers clearly, his accent gentle but confident. His voice is calm, surprisingly steady for someone standing before millions. "And where are you from?" "From the Philippines," he replies. A few cheers ripple through the audience, supportive, encouraging. Simon glances up briefly, nodding once, then looks back down. He's heard this introduction many times before. Immigrant stories, international singers, it's familiar territory. "So," the host continues, "tell us why you're here." The young man pauses. He swallows, then smiles softly. He speaks about music being his escape, about singing in small gatherings, family celebrations, late nights alone with old records. He doesn't exaggerate. He doesn't oversell. He simply tells the truth. Music is his life. Elvis Presley, in particular, changed everything for him. That last sentence catches Simon's attention, just slightly. "Elvis?" Simon asks, finally looking directly at him. "Yes, sir," the singer answers respectfully. Simon raises an eyebrow. Elvis songs are dangerous choices. Too iconic. Too easy to mess up. Most contestants who attempt them fall into cheap imitation or karaoke-level mimicry. Simon leans back in his chair, arms crossed. "So, which Elvis song will you be singing today?" There's a brief pause, long enough to feel uncomfortable. The singer takes another breath. "I'll be singing one of his classics," he says. "A song that means everything to me." The crowd murmurs. Judges exchange looks. Amanda smiles politely. Howie tilts his head, curious. Simon's expression hardens, not cruel, but guarded. "All right," Simon says. "Let's hear it." The stage lights shift. A single spotlight settles on the singer. The band readies itself. The opening notes begin, soft, familiar, unmistakably Elvis. A few people in the audience smile, recognizing the melody. Some nod along. Others brace themselves. Backstage, crew members watch closely. They've seen confidence crumble in seconds under these lights. The singer closes his eyes. Then he sings. The first note doesn't shout. It doesn't try to impress. It arrives, smooth, controlled, warm, and unexpectedly deep. There is a texture to his voice, something vintage yet alive. The sound rolls through the theater like a memory rediscovered. Instantly, the atmosphere changes. The audience stills. Conversations stop mid-whisper. Phones rise higher. Simon's pen freezes between his fingers. The second line follows, stronger now. The phrasing is classic Elvis, effortless vibrato, perfect timing, but there's something else woven into it. Emotion. Not imitation, but understanding. He isn't copying Elvis. He's feeling the song. Simon leans forward without realizing it. The singer opens his eyes, looking out into the darkness beyond the lights. His voice carries stories of long nights listening to crackling vinyl, of dreams formed far from this stage, of believing in a voice when no one else was listening. Each word lands cleanly, confidently. There is no strain, no nerves in his tone. Just presence. A woman in the audience gasps quietly. By the time he reaches the chorus, the transformation is complete. What started as polite curiosity has turned into disbelief. The sound filling the theater doesn't match the modest figure standing on stage. It's too big. Too seasoned. Too real. Simon's face changes, slowly, visibly. The skepticism drains away, replaced by something rare, surprise. He mouths a silent, "Wow." The camera zooms in on his reaction. Viewers at home would later replay this moment again and again, the instant Simon realizes he might have been wrong. The singer holds a long note, letting it bloom fully before easing back. The control is masterful. The crowd responds with spontaneous applause, breaking the usual audition etiquette. A few cheers slip out. Simon doesn't stop them. The song continues, and with every second, the disbelief grows. This isn't a novelty. This isn't luck. This is a voice that belongs on this stage. As the final notes of the opening section fade, the theater hangs in a fragile silence, like no one wants to breathe and break the spell. The silence after the opening lines feels heavy, almost sacred. No one in the theater dares to interrupt it. The Filipino singer stands perfectly still at center stage, the spotlight wrapped around him like a halo. His chest rises and falls once, slow, controlled, before he steps forward into the heart of the song. This is no longer just an audition. It is a moment unfolding. The band eases in more confidently now. The guitar slides gently beneath his voice, the bass humming like a steady heartbeat. With each new phrase, the singer's tone grows richer, deeper, more assured. The nerves that might have lived in him earlier have completely disappeared. In their place stands an artist fully connected to the music. He moves slightly, instinctively, not choreographed but natural, just a subtle sway of the shoulders, a small lift of the chin. It's unmistakably Elvis, yet never exaggerated. The gestures feel earned, not borrowed. The audience begins to feel it. This isn't a tribute act, this is a resurrection of a feeling, a sound that time was never supposed to erase. Simon Cowell watches closely now. His arms are no longer crossed. He leans toward the stage, eyes narrowed in concentration, as if trying to dissect what he's hearing. Is it technique? Tone? Control? It's all there, but it's also something more elusive. Authenticity. The kind you can't teach. As the singer reaches the next verse, he allows a slight rasp to color the ends of certain notes, the way Elvis used to do when emotion overtook precision. It sends a ripple through the audience. A man in the front row shakes his head in disbelief. A woman presses her hand to her chest. Somewhere in the crowd, someone whispers, "Oh my God." The singer opens his eyes wider now, connecting with the room. He looks toward the judges' table, not directly at Simon, but in that direction, his voice steady, fearless. The words seem to carry his own story now, growing up far from this stage, learning English through old songs, dreaming of an audience that could hear him the way Elvis once did. The chorus returns, stronger than before. This time, the audience can't hold back. Applause breaks out mid-line, followed by cheers that roll like waves. The singer doesn't lose focus. He rides the energy, letting it lift him rather than distract him. His voice swells, then softens, then swells again, perfect dynamic control. Each note lands exactly where it should. Amanda's eyes glisten. She smiles, nodding slowly, already convinced. Howie leans forward, mouth slightly open, his hands frozen mid-clap as if he's forgotten what he was doing. The judges aren't judging anymore. They're listening. Simon's expression is the most telling. His lips part just a little. He blinks, once, then again. He's heard great singers before. He's even heard great Elvis impersonators. But this feels like the impossible combination. Respect for the original without being trapped by it. Power without arrogance. Nostalgia without gimmick. As the bridge approaches, the singer lowers his volume, drawing the entire theater in with him. His voice becomes intimate, almost conversational. You could hear a pin drop. Even the cameras seem to move more slowly, careful not to disturb the spell. He sings the line softly, letting the emotion do the work. A single tear slips down his cheek. It's not forced. He doesn't wipe it away. He simply keeps singing. The vulnerability hits the audience harder than any high note ever could. This isn't about perfection. It's about truth. About a young man standing on the biggest stage of his life, carrying the weight of a legend and the hope of his own future in the same breath. Then, he builds. The band rises with him. The drums come in fuller. The guitar brightens. The singer straightens his posture, drawing power from somewhere deep inside. His voice climbs, soaring into the final chorus with breathtaking confidence. This is the moment. The high notes ring out, clear and strong, echoing through the theater. The sound wraps around the crowd, lifting them to their feet almost involuntarily. One by one, people stand. Applause erupts, not waiting for permission. Cheers explode. Some shout his name, others shout Elvis's. Simon stands too. He doesn't clap at first. He just stands there, staring at the stage, shaking his head slowly. When he finally does clap, it's deliberate, emphatic, respectful. The singer holds the final note,